Mike Rosner. I'll get into that though, let me tell you. This is a video that my mom did, but I'll show that later. October 21st, 2007 was not the first time I'd driven up buzzed or intoxicated. But after drinking with friends in Manassas, I made the choice to drive my soft-top Jeep home to Arlington. Not blaming, but no one stopped me. At exit 66 on I-66, between 2:30 and 3 in the morning, a cab driver saw my Jeep drifting off the road to the right. He watched it hit the exit sign, jumped the guardrail, flipped into the air and crashing front end down into a tree. He called 911 as the accident was happening. I had just become a statistic. I wasn't used to that. I've been a competitive swimmer, graduated summa cum laude with a technology degree, was a licensed realtor, a certified IT engineer, and in the year of my accident, helped a friend start an IT recruiting company. But 28% of traumatic brain injuries are caused by motor vehicle accidents, and half are intoxicated males between the ages of 15 and 25. The problem with statistics is that sometimes the number comes up. Everything flowed with that Jeep. What we couldn't know then was at the moment when I stopped beating the odds, we would be the one where I'd have to start fighting statistics like never before, just to survive, and to get to this place in front of you right now. Emergency response teams, summoned by that cab driver's call, intubated me at the scene. I was non-responsive and arrived code blue at a Nova Fairfax hospital. My parents got the call every parent fears. Your son has been in an accident. Not knowing if I was dead or alive, must have made the drive to the hospital the longest 30 minutes of their lives. Before she could see me, a nurse asked my mother if I was an organ donor. Because arriving in the emergency room in Fairfax, I was given a level 3 on the Glasgow Coma scale. No eye opening, no verbal response, no motor response. I think you get a 3 just for showing up. Doctors gave my family little hope that I would survive even the next 24 hours. I had a traumatic brain injury. My head had been slammed, my brain tossed back and forth and side to side during the accident. Because of my choice to drive that night, my mother had to make other daunting decisions, like allowing a neurosurgeon to remove a portion of my skull so that the rapidly increasing intracranial pressure from my swelling brain could subside. The last effort to prevent my impending death after all medical therapies had been attempted. The surgeries called a decompressive craniectomy, and it saved my life. Thank you, Mom. I had a diffuse axonal brain injury. The deep areas of my brain, including the brainstem, were damaged. These are the areas that control life functions and make your heart and lungs work. I was in a coma, kept alive by machines for almost a month. The Rancho Lozamica scale of cognitive functioning is a way to measure recovery from TBI, or traumatic brain injury. On day 25, my eyes were open, but there was still no purposeful response to commands. I was at the bottom, level 1 of the Rancho scale. I was 25 years old, and I was facing life as an infant. At the time of the accident, I lived in Arlington with 3 of my best friends. We were young, good-looking, and upwardly mobile. Guys wanted to be us, girls wanted to be with us. I enjoyed that a lot, but we drank a lot. I don't think I ever considered the possibility of saying goodbye to that life if I drove after drinking. I was a good drunk driver. I can handle it. I was just buzzed, right? Haven't you been there? Have you done it? Or maybe watched someone head out when maybe they shouldn't? Not once did I think beyond the risk of DUI or about what was truly at stake. I did not stop and think about the risk to myself, to others, or the possibility of life-altering consequences. I was transferred to Mount Vernon Hospital's rehabilitation unit on November 17, 2007, where I underwent intensive therapy. A speech therapist for articulating thoughts, sequencing, memory, and analyzing. a physical therapist to help my brain remember how to first stand, then walk, and to use both arms and both legs. An occupational therapist to help me learn how to hold utensils, how to brush my teeth, how to recognize when I needed to use the bathroom, how to shower and follow directions. A recreational therapist to help me relearn things I learned as a toddler. Once, hospital staff found still nonverbal me lying between the bed and the window. I decided to rid myself of diapers and head to the bathroom on my own, collapsing to the floor instead. I couldn't walk. It wasn't just a lack of motor skills, but a lack of understanding of my own limitations. I thought I could do it. I had no self-awareness. It took months of 4 to 5 hour days, 5 days a week, with tremendous support from family and friends to work through levels 1 through 5 of the Rancho scale. In the days following the accident, my brother Nate and a friend set up WeLoveMike.com as a web blog for daily medical updates. It seems weird to me, but within 3 days, the blog received over 2,000 visits. I'm a son, a grandson, a brother, cousin, a friend. It could have so easily been happening to them. I guess people related to my story. There were thousands of thoughts and prayers willing me to get better, but sadly I have no recollection of that, or the first 2 years of my recovery, but I have read and heard about it. It was not until probably the 3rd year before I began the real process of being cognizant of myself. The mental, physical, and emotional energy required to face another day of therapy without the awareness or memory to measure success is at times insurmountable. But facing the unthinkable is the double-edged sword of self-awareness. I have literally lost my mind in a life that I once took for granted. No mulligans. Somewhere through this whole journey, the blog stopped being about medical updates and a family's hope for healing and became more. A record that has helped me recreate the past and better understand how so many other people were impacted by my decision to drive that night. It has also been a way for me to help others understand what an injury to the brain is, because statistically, it doesn't matter how good looking, how educated, how tough, cool, or macho you think you are. Truth is, a brain injury does not discriminate. My brain injury didn't just go away after I was released from the hospital. 6 years after that decision to get behind the wheel after drinking, I know my life will never be the same. I will always have a severe brain injury. The good news, out of all the things I had going for me before the accident, I also had some of the predictors for a positive outcome. Perseverance and motivation, a strong social and family network of support. I was strong-willed and determined. I was young and in good shape. I was not invincible. But those predictors were the very things that pulled me up the Rancho scale through therapy into this moment with you. Remember that I am one in 1.7 million people that suffer traumatic brain injury each year. For those 1.7 million, rehabilitation is vitally important because with it, we can retrain our brains. I am very thankful for the resources and support offered through brain injury services. Outpatient therapy can last for weeks, months, or years, and services are not cheap. There is a huge disparity between the need for services and the amount dedicated to research and funding. I'm in my 6th year of recovery, and the majority of my life still revolves around rehab. It is hard, like walking through swamp fire, but I am improving. Drinking is no longer an option for me, but ironically, the similarities between me being drunk and my brain injury are uncanny. My brain injury affects my balance, it caused double vision, I have difficulty analyzing people and situations, I perseverate, repeating thoughts over and over and over again. I might make inappropriate, unfiltered comments or remarks in public. I am easily distracted, making it almost impossible for me to follow the directions or stay on task. It takes my brain longer to process information, which causes confusion. And did I mention severe short-term memory loss? I'm sorry, officer. What did you want me to do? I would probably have a hard time passing a field sobriety test without a drop of alcohol in my system. But a huge frustration for me is not being able to drive. They say that the cognitive limitations caused by my brain injury would make me an unsafe driver. I don't agree, but encompassing both concrete and intangible losses is me not driving. Standing here in front of you, I still look like the guy I was before the accident. Hopefully, you now understand how wrong that assumption would be. One single event, and life is different. A disruption of dreams for my future of epic proportion. One decision. I could calculate math equations in my head. There's a memory of what that looks like, but prior knowledge or skill doesn't mean you'll be able to apply that knowledge or skill after a brain injury. Analyzing is different. I was never a note taker. I could ace some tests without taking a single note. Today a friend might ask, "Did you see the game yesterday?" Surely expecting me to know the answer. But lost in a fog of irretrievable events that I'm sure I participated in is the answer to that question. Our memories, our joys, our sorrows are nothing more than electrical impulses imprinting to memory files. My memory board short circuits. Memory is different. I knew persevere like it was my middle name. Perseverance feels like striving towards a noble goal, and whether or not it's reached, there is virtue in the effort. Perseverance got me through it all, until my brain confused persevere with perseverate. Perseverate, the pathological, persistent repetition of a word, gesture, or act. Continuation of something beyond a desired point. Perseveration feels compulsive, hopeless, helpless, automatic, and unsatisfying. There is no virtue in the action. Definitions of life are different. I'm a different person because of the severity of the injury to my brain. Can you imagine waking up and not know what you used to know? Not be able to do what you used to do? Not be able to think like you used to be able to think? Not be who you used to be. Now imagine what that's like for your family and friends. Roles in life are different. What keeps me going? It's simple. I stay strong for the people who have helped me. When I catch myself wishing the accident had ended my life, I think of my family and friends and how it will be for them. If I start feeling sorry for myself, I try to remember that a lot of people look to me for strength. I am a survivor, not because I want to be, but because I have to be to teach the lesson. One single event in my profession, my role in the family, my independence and freedom, my behavior, my intelligence and status in society are all different. Can you see those differences? Probably not, because a brain injury is invisible. But thanks to the Speakers Bureau, I am not. And I'm here today with hope. I hope that I make you pause. I hope that I can impact at least one person before they make that decision to drive home, or let a friend drive home after drinking. Let me be the lesson. Trying to beat the odds by driving drunk just gives you a whole new set to battle. My name is Mike Rosner. I'm 31 years old and I survived a severe traumatic brain injury. I can't imagine my life without the support of Brain Injury Services and the Speakers Bureau. They are a United Way agency. I urge you to support these organizations and consider the impact a single choice can have.